Hi, my name is Sylvia Chalice, and this is Donovan Chalice. Excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold. I just wanted to say I've been with the church for, I think, since October 2011. When I came to the church, me and my husband had just separated, and come to find out that there was an affair going on with a friend, and I just didn't know where to run to. And my son was coming here. He always used to invite me to come, so that when this happened, the Lord just brought me here. And I remember sitting out in the hall when they were having the conference for the marriage people. I remember sitting out there crying because I wanted to be in there with him. And the Lord started to speak to me, because I kept blaming him for everything, but the Lord started telling me, you've got a lot of things you got to fix. A lot of times we want to blame our husbands, but that's a lie from the devil. It's really a lot of us that have to work on ourselves before we can get to our husbands, because we're trying to tell them to be something when we can't even be it. So, I learned a lot sitting out there. And, the dinner dance, I cried a lot, wanting to go with him, and he wasn't there. And we just went through a whole lot during that year, and he just was, not wanting nothing to do with me no more. And I kept trying to go over there and talk him to come back, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And then I remember coming here, and Pastor started talking, and I used to always pray, Lord, talk to me through him. Let me hear something. I want to talk to me, Lord. And one day I came here, and the pastor said something like, the Lord wants to help you, but he says, if you want me to take care of your business, you need to take care of mine. So that really rang a bell in my head. I said, okay. And then I started reading the Bible more and more, and the first time in my whole life, I read the whole Bible through while I was coming here. And the Lord talked to me through Isaiah. The book of Isaiah is one of the longest books, but through that whole book, the Lord talked to me, told me to hang in there, fight for him, don't give up. Then he started to tell me it was a spiritual fight. I had to start fighting spiritual, because I was thinking of all the things that he was doing and what is he doing right now. And then the Lord said, leave them to me. You go to church, you go to classes, you go to get involved. You need to get involved. That's why this is such a good thing for all the married couples right now. This is a blessing. I'm serious. I don't think I've ever seen anything this big, especially on Sundays. Oh my God, we were shocked to see how many marriages want it. They're crying for help, But as I stood hanging on to the Lord and just doing what he told me, I stopped calling him, I stopped bugging him, I stopped going around him, Then one day, out of the blues, the Lord told me to buy a bottle of Jube. I was like walking through the swap meet, and I remember he liked it then. I'm like, what am I going to buy that for? We're not even together. But I bought it. I had it in my car for almost like 3 weeks. Then the Lord started telling me again, pack a bag. But why am I going to pack a bag? Where am I going to go? And so for 2 days I struggled with that thought. And then finally Thursday came, and I had gone over there one time, and I told him that, I wasn't here to ask you back, but I was here to tell you something. The Lord sent me here to tell you that if you don't get your life right with him, you're going to burn in hell. Because the Lord told me, if you really love your husband that much, you need to fight for him. Because, do you really hate your husband that much that you want to see him burn in hell? No, you don't. So I started to fight. Spiritually, the Lord started telling me in my mind to just fight for him. I prayed, I fasted for a whole month. I started, I never got so close to the Lord. And then just out of the blues, he started, getting to talk to me. And then one day, it was like out of the blues, he came when I went over there, and he packed all his stuff, and we came back. And the Lord told me that I couldn't bring him in my house. He's not clean. So I told him if he was going to come back, he needed to get into a men's home. So he did. We got him into a Christian men's home, and he stood there for a while. and then we got back. But then I told him, when you get here, you're going to get involved in here now. When he came here, he went into the men's Bible study, and I used to sit out there for him and wait. I think this happened like, what, in a couple months. I would sit out there while he was in there, listening to sermons out there. But then one day we were walking, I had to come to the restroom. We walked in to see, like, what's happening in there? Look, there's people in there, what's happening? So we came and we seen that there was a one-on-one. To me, that was a message from the Lord. Okay, he's had his talk, I've had my talk with him, I worked with him on the men's side, now you're both gonna come and get help over here. So I just want to thank God that he brought us here. We're together. I love my husband more than anything. I love him even more now that the Lord has erased stuff, all that from my mind, and just show me what a man of God I have now.
No, I think it was the snacks. She went to the restroom. Wow, look at the snacks. Oh my God. Honey, let's go there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I just want to say that our marriage has really, really changed a lot because I never really had, like, guys, men, when I lay with the guys, I didn't have any friends. I was always by myself. And basically, I was talking to my brother the whole time. What we call it, when I was separated from my wife, we called it the dark side. Star Wars. Darth Vader was my father, the devil. That's where I was. Luke, you are my father, you are my son. I was over there, and my life was going down. I was losing her. And this affair was just going towards the flames of hell. That's where I was going. And I was just like, I didn't want anything to do with the Lord our Savior. I wanted nothing to do with him because, I had the baddest mouth that you could ever think of. Everything that came out was terrible. She didn't want to be around me. My dad, what really crushed me a lot was, see, I'm an entertainer. My dad had a picture of me on the wall. He called up Sylvia and he goes, Mija, you know what? This picture that I have of my son, I can't look at it. Ripped it up. And he goes, until he gets his life straight, I don't want to look at him. That crushed me, Started crying because, my dad has always been at my side. See, when Elvis Presley was performing, he always had his father. So when I did my shows, I would say, Daddy, stand up, take a bow. And everybody was like, hey, that's his dad, cool, whatever. And when he did that, he crushed me. But that's something different. But when I was away from her, stuff was going bad. It's like when it rains, you get dark clouds? Okay, that one dark cloud was just over me because the devil was taking hold of my soul. He's like, come here, man. I'll make you big, come here. This lady's gonna take care of you, she'll drive you to your gigs, whatever, And I was going in places where they were just dark. You're just like walking and everything is dark. But the minute I said, when that time came and she said, well, I'm going to Arkansas, I'm gonna be gone for a while. So wait till I get back and then, we'll continue on. And I said, I ain't sticking around for nothing. I said, I ain't gonna wait for you. I got somebody out there who loves me, who wants to be with me, who wants to give it another chance and knows that, there's still something there in our marriage. I called her up and she had came down to come see a friend of mine that I used to play in a band with. And I came out and she saw me and she goes, is he smoking a pipe? I was smoking. Never picked up a cigarette in my life. It's that vape. I picked it up and I was smoking that. And she was like disgusted. Had this evil look on me and she's like, that's not my husband. But in all, I know we got other stuff to do. I don't want to be here all night. What I'm saying is that, I never knew the Lord was real, but he is. Because she sent me this on my cell phone and I got it and I looked at it and said, Sinner's Prayer. It was Pastor Diego. And she put a little message. She goes, read it. And she said, Donovan, read it. And she's like, oops, Donovan, read it. So I'm like, okay. She was trying to either call me Donovan or babe, big one, come on. So I'm like, all right, so I just read it. I read it like 9 times. I read the Sinner's Prayer. And I told myself, I gotta get out of here. I don't belong here. I don't belong with this woman. I don't belong with this family. It was like the devil's reign in that whole house. So when I stepped out of that house, she came pick me up, let's go. I took all my stuff and it's like, she goes, here, drive my car, go ahead. We had a Chrysler 300. She goes, here, drive, go, let's go. And then I came back and I went to church and I went to the Bible study. I went to the men's home, came here, became a member, and it's just like, you know, believe me, folks, he is real. I'm here. Living proof. And I just want to say that, you know, all of you are my friends. I love you guys. And it's like, just, you know, keep us in prayer that we keep on our walk to Calvary. And we just, because you know what? When we all go, we're all going to see each other again. God bless you. I love you guys. Thanks.